These are the tools of the professional trader.
You have analyzed your charts. You have identified a foolproof trading strategy. Congratulations! You have assured maximum profit with minimal investment. But will this trading strategy work over time? There are only two ways to find out. One is to try the strategy out in real time and risk your investment. The preferred method is to safely backtest it using neuMedia's crypto trader trigger backtesting.
Triggers are an advanced trading topic, and the user should be familiar with basic concepts such as exchanges, cryptocurrencies, and simple trading of market pairs. These concepts are covered in depth in the new cryptocurrency trading introduction. In addition, you should have already created your first trigger and be comfortable with script editing and using tokens as well as the trigger token calculator. These topics are covered in other neuMedia videos and documentation.
For demonstration purposes, we are going to create a simple trigger. From the Crypto Trader main menu, select Triggers. On the Triggers page, the left panel shows all locally saved triggers. From the bottom of this panel, select the plus to add a new trigger. We'll name this trigger NoOP Backtest. Save to create the new trigger. Before we can backtest any trigger, the trigger script must be edited and successfully compiled. Compiling ensures there are no errors in the saved script. The most basic script is a no operation, which is how we will initially perform the backtest. We will be adding additional operations later in this video. Insert a semicolon and press the compile button. Once compiled, you will be given an option to set the new trigger to active. For backtesting, it is not recommended to set the trigger to active, especially if the background trigger service is running. This trigger is now ready to backtest. Press the Backtest tab button at the top of the page to reveal the backtest interface. There are three main areas to this tab. At the top are the backtest options, including the date and time ranges, time increment, and evaluation options. On the right side are optional simulation values where you can input coin and fiat values you wish to track during the backtest. The center of the tab page is a log window, which will show the progress of the backtest during execution. To begin testing, you must first select the starting date and time, as well as the ending date time for the desired backtest. Click the start date and select the month, day, and year. By default, the starting time is midnight, as is the ending time for the selected dates. If you wish to change this default, click the time next to the date and select the starting time. Repeat for the ending date and time.
It is important that the start time is before the ending time and that the ending date time is before the current, or a script processing error will occur.
The other options for backtesting include the time increment, the output log detail, and strict evaluation execution. The time increment determines the frequency of each evaluation as the backtest progresses from the begin to end dates. The default is 1 day or 24 hours. With each evaluation, the script and all trigger tokens will be evaluated for the corresponding date and time. The time increment should be selected based on the minimum resolution of any candle tokens used in the script. For example, if all candle tokens used in the script are aggregated by 1 day or greater, select the default day increment. Hour-by-hour increment should be used if any candle tokens are aggregated by hour and up to 1 day. Minute time increments could take time to evaluate if the date ranges are relatively long, as there will be 1,440 evaluations of the script per each day in the selected range. Once all options are set, press the Begin button on the right to start the backtest. During execution, the log window will show the status of the script evaluation. During the backtest, no action triggers will be executed, and all trades Coin transfers and coin withdrawals will be simulated. The back test will complete when the end date is reached. Because back testing may take some time, the test can be manually canceled at any time by pressing the cancel button on the right. So far, we have tested a simple script with no operations. Trigger scripts, however, can be potentially infinitely more complex. Again, for demonstration purposes, we will add some additional logic and trigger tokens to our test script to show other logging and display options that may help debug backtest execution. The most basic way to display script processing progress is to have the script return a value. The return value will be displayed as a script result for each backtest iteration. Any programmable value can be returned, but a Boolean value, true or false, has special meaning.
A trigger script that returns true is considered triggered. Once triggered, the trigger must be reset manually unless the auto reset trigger option is set. If a script has triggered and auto reset is off, backtesting will end.
For our updated script, we will return the result from the candle close token. With many tokens to choose from, we will use the token calculator to select this token and autofill any optional parameters. Be sure to compile the edited script before backtesting.
For more information on using trigger tokens and the trigger token calculator, please review other new crypto trader documentation and videos.
Now, when we backtest the script, the result of the trigger token is displayed for each iteration and corresponding date and time. Another option for backtest script display is to use the log token. The log token may be placed anywhere in the script and display any formatted string. Unlike the return value, many log tokens may be used with the display being shown on the backtest log.
Trigger scripts use the popular C# language syntax. For more information on the C# language and trigger script editing options, please review the new crypto documentation and other videos.
The final option for backtest log display is to turn on verbose output. Verbose output will display each trigger token and the result in the log as it is evaluated from the script. Ultimately, triggers in the trigger script should execute trades profitably over time with limited interaction. This is in fact what backtesting verifies. A trade is executed in trigger scripts using the action trigger tokens such as market buy, market sell, limit buy and sell balance query tokens, and coin transfer tokens. All of these operate against specific exchanges and associated cryptocurrencies and market pairs. Obviously, these scripts should not execute against live values during backtesting. To simulate these actions, the backtester can be set up with any number of exchange coin values, which will be used as an ad hoc exchange during backtest execution.
It is not required to set up each exchange and coin value before backtesting, as long as the strict execution is off. When this option is off, negative balances may result, but the script will continue without error. It is however best practice to fully test with strict script execution and included logic to gracefully recover from trade API errors such as insufficient balances. In a properly written trading script, available coin balances may be queried before executing a trade.
To add a simulated value, press the plus button at the bottom of the Simulated Values area. You can then select the exchange, currency, and enter the starting amount. To remove a selected value, press the minus button. Simulated values may be saved separately for each trigger. Each time the backtest is run, these saved values are reloaded before processing begins. Saved values may also be reloaded using the refresh button at the bottom of the Simulator Values area. During the backtest, a time chart will be displayed for every exchange currency that is configured. This chart reflects a change in value of the currency for the duration of the backtest range. Finally, we will look at priority triggers. During actual trigger processing by the trigger service, the minimum time resolution per trigger is 1 minute between evaluations. This is due to the minimum candle aggregate also being 1 minute. If a trigger is evaluated faster than this, the values would most likely be the same between evaluations and it would not be worth the overhead. The exception to this are priority triggers. These triggers usually contain real-time tokens that analyze trades and order book values as they occur in real time. These real-time tokens cannot be reliably backtested. Priority triggers can be tested, however, in real time. Since there is no start and end date ranges for these triggers, they can be tested and evaluated many times per second. The same action trigger restrictions and simulator values apply to both standard triggers and priority triggers.
Backtest at least 3 years and preferably up to 5 years. Of course, this can take some time, especially if the trigger script and time interval is 1 minute per evaluation. Nevertheless, market fluctuations can be somewhat mitigated by a longer test range. Test exchange available balances before executing trades and always check the return value and order status afterwards. Don't set the trigger to priority unless the trigger contains real-time tokens. Don't set the trigger to active unless it has been sufficiently back-tested.
This concludes the video on neuMedia's crypto trader backtesting. Be sure to check out the final video in this trigger series, the Crypto Trader Trigger Service. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy trading.